Well, top of the evening, WNBA and women's basketball fans. Glad to have you guys back with us here on the WNBA 365 Network, your 24/7, 365 comprehensive home for everything revolving around the WNBA and the rest of the women's basketball universe on one of my favorite holidays of the year, other than Christmas, St. Patrick's Day for March 17th, 2016, on the opening day of men's March Madness, and alongside the group of leprechauns, but our starting lineup tonight, Eric Nimchok, the great writer from today's Fast Break in Elmhurst, Illinois, and also still in the Chicago area is Reagan Patrick, along with the group from SoCal, Crystal Thomas and Tanisha Stewart, and the Irish man himself, Callan McClurg, joining you folks here from Studio 171 in San Diego, whose government name is Callan Patrick McClurg, so very fitting today, along with Reagan also having that mutual last name interest as well on this St. Patrick's Day holiday. Other than that, guys, how is everyone doing? And I hope we are all in one piece. I hope to hear. How's it going tonight?
Tired.
Same.
Tired.
Well, I'm a Lakers fan, so I don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day. It's all about the purple and gold.
With that, folks, we'll be here for about the next 30 to 45 minutes. Again, there's not a whole lot to get to tonight. Of course, we're still waiting, of course, for women's March Madness to get underway in a couple of days. We've had some very quiet news on the WNBA home front, but more than happy to lead you folks to our pot of gold on social media. Hit us up on Twitter at WNBA365, at CallumAc3, at ShortyMamba24, at Pup1010, at _rap, RAP24, or at Nemchocky with that pretty lucky hashtag of WNBA 365. We'll get to your commentary first and foremost when that does happen this evening. Guys, getting off tonight's program on the WNBA home front with a story that broke a couple days ago, more like on Tuesday, when the Dallas Wings announced a multi-year contract extension to their all-star guard and franchise superstar Skylar Diggins. The agreement will keep her in a Wings uniform through 2019. However, the financial terms of the contract were not disclosed per Dallas team policy. Of course, last season, Diggins suffered that pretty significant ACL tear that pretty much derailed much of the season for the former Dallas Wings, the Tulsa Shock last season. But Shorty, starting with you on this one, obviously, you know, what Skylar, I would probably say, to get to my take on this is probably the best move that Dallas can make right now to their, you know, not only a very scary team, but for their long-term future in trying to, keep fans in the arena in Cedar Park, Texas, is locking up this, really, high-profile player, and, of course, minor setback with that ACL tear for a major comeback for Skylar this season. And, again, I think what she's meant, though, to this fractured team's history, I mean, I remember saying many times a while back on the network is, when a team folds or a team relocates, mostly when they relocate, everything that happened beforehand becomes irrelevant. It's off the books because that was in a whole other city, a whole different dimension. So that was what I would have said if Los Angeles would have left and gone to the Bay Area. But this is probably the most prized possession in Tulsa Shock, now Dallas Wings franchise history, is a player like Diggins going forward. Shorty, in your mind, how important is this transaction made by Dallas for their long-term future for the next 3 years?
I mean, for the Dallas Wings, it is very important for them to lock up their star franchise player in Skylar Diggins, through 2019. And, I would say about last week, the Washington Mystics, gave Emma Mieseman the same, contract, locking her up through 2019. And I think it was smart on those two franchises, to lock up their key players, through 2019, so they won't have to hit free agency next year, because next year the 2013 WNBA draft class will all be restricted free agents, and of course it would have been Skylar Diggins and Emma Mieseman, but also Brittany Griner along with Alina Deladon and Shoni Schimmel. So those players are going to become restricted free agents next year. So the Wings wanted to, avoid any other, contract situations next year by locking up Skylar Diggins for this season.
Reagan, like I touched base on again, this is probably the most significant move Dallas has made, obviously, in their very brief inaugural season of play, but also for what it means for them going forward is now that Skylar's going to be fully healthy back from that ACL tear that she suffered again. And also, the time she went out though, they were red hot. They were 7-1 on the season, off to probably one of their better starts and best starts in the Tulsa era of the franchise, from the Detroit days to Tulsa and then to now. And then you just kind of saw that team. They kind of became unraveled. But now that she's back, back in the fray, 100%, and all the other moves and puzzle pieces around Diggins. Reagan, I think the question for you is, where does Dallas go from here now for the season in your mind, as you kind of think about it in the early stages still of, before the draft and also before preseason begins?
Um, in my opinion, Dallas goes nowhere but up from here. I said this 2 years ago that Dallas were like they were gonna be really hard to beat, and 2 years later they were in the playoffs. They were really hard to beat, and if they use their draft pick wisely this year, I feel like, and with the addition of Aaron Phillips, stupid Sparks, but with that addition, I see
I
them going.
agree.
KT, obviously, as we've already said, when Diggins was there before the injury, she was setting the court on fire. Obviously, perhaps an MVP candidate early in the season, maybe somewhere on the all teams or an all-star vote in somewhere. But then you see her go down, and not only do you feel bad for her as well as a player and a person for the injury, but also just how you saw the shock really go down south when she'd gone out of the lineup. And again, like I said, working her way back from this injury, of course. I think, and obviously, working your way back from any injury is tough. But of course, the ACL tear, as we said, kind of on the rise in sports nowadays across both men and women's sports. But Crystal, to kind of bank off Shorty's question again, how important is though that Dallas made this move to keep this marquee attraction in Cedar Park for the next 3 seasons in your mind?
It was really important. Skylar's very young. Like Reagan said, that team's going to be a very tough team in the future to beat. And regarding the Aaron Phillips trade, that was very stupid. I'm still not sure what LA thought they were getting out of that one. But I think it's smart. I mean, you have to, especially for a team of that caliber, you have to resign Skylar. You have to lock her up, because if not, a lot of teams would really love to have her on their team.
Eric, Reagan just brought up about what Dallas could do now. Again, folks, as a reminder, again, Dallas and Los Angeles flip-flop draft spots in round 1. LA will now draft 6. Dallas goes at 5 now. So, Eric, to bank off Reagan's point that you brought up earlier on in this block of the program again, what, I guess I'd probably ask you, with you being the king of mock drafts, what are Dallas's options at number 5 in your mind right now?
Dallas has a ton of options at number 5. I think they could look towards someone like Morgan Tuck out of UConn, because, you figure they're kind of set at center because they've got Paris and Zowie for the future at least. They're obviously set at point guard now because Skylar is back and they've got Odyssey Sims. So they either need somebody for like a wing player or perhaps another post. I think at number 5 you still want to draft best player available. With Morgan Tuck you have probably some questions about her knees. I'd say if Ariel Powers does declare for the draft, that's definitely someone the Shock are going to want to have to look at, because I think she can play, both in the post and on the wing. She's got great potential, great athleticism. I think she'd fit very well with her team.
I think, Eric, we're going to have to get that Shock collar on you. like we said, though, it's going to take a while. But, again, the Dallas Wings, formerly the Tulsa Shock, do lock up marquee player Skylar Diggins for the next 3 seasons. And, again, we'll have more about any more moves that are made over the next couple of days when we get some time. We'll be back with you folks back here on Monday night. We'll be off tomorrow and off for the weekend as we normally are. But, guys, on a more of a positive note for the WNBA, a new sponsor is coming in to fruition for the historic 20th year of the WNBA. The Women's National Basketball Association and Verizon Wireless have announced a new league-wide marquee partnership effective March 15th of 2016, making Verizon the new wireless provider and the league's most prominent marketing partner, which, of course, is in effect with the 20th season of the WNBA. As part of the marquee deal, Verizon will now be permanently displayed on 10 of the 12-team jerseys that will include Atlanta, Chicago, and Dallas, Indiana, Los Angeles, Minnesota, New York, Phoenix, Seattle, and Washington. The jerseys will officially debut during the tip-off of 2016, sponsored by Verizon, beginning on May 14th, which will include all 12 teams' home openers. from May 14th through May 22nd. In addition, Verizon also will be incorporated into game telecast through courtside signage and in-game ads, along with a variety of cross-channel marketing and promotional elements, all designed to commemorate the league's 20th season. And also throughout the season, Verizon will also bring fans the top 20 moments in WNBA history. This digital program will highlight some of the most memorable moments from and throughout the league's 20-year history. And also as a part of this as well, Verizon becomes the new presenting partner of WNBA Tip-Off, the postseason, the finals, and also the WNBA Draft, along with the 2017 WNBA All-Star Game as well next season. Again, no All-Star Game due to the Rio Olympics this season. So, Shorty, this is obviously the first stepping stone for Lisa Borders as new president. She goes on and gets a major sponsor of both the NBA and Verizon Wireless, plus now the new sponsor of the WNBA. And again, Verizon, my current cell phone provider and wireless partner as well for my house here and also for me. Again, Shorty, like we said, though, sponsorship, media coverage are always things that we always talk about on the network or on social media about how to grow the game of women's basketball. But right here, though, is a very good stepping stone with not only a good partner in other pro sports, but also now more of a W. And, of course, Shorty, this is being the first move of any type league-wide by Lisa Borders in the new WNBA front office. So, Shorty, overall take and thoughts and reaction about Verizon becoming the brand new marquee sponsor of the WNBA for its historic 20th season.
I think it was good on WNBA's part to acquire such a big, cellular company and Verizon. I know I mean, they just had, Boost Mobile, get a big company like Verizon, is very huge for the WNBA. If I can recall, I think this is one of their biggest, marquee sponsorships, so far. So, it was great on, their part, and also good job by Lisa Borders as well. I know people have had questions about her, but this is a very great start for her and her team. Sure. Also, I do like, that they're going to be sponsoring a lot of the other activities in regards to the WNBA, draft and playoffs, and including, I do like the idea for the top 20 moments in WNBA history. Remember 5 years ago when the WNBA had the top 15 moments in history, if I can recall, back in 2011. So for Verizon to be a sponsor of that as well is going to be pretty neat. And, like I said, this is just a great stepping stone, for the WNBA. And hopefully they'll continue to get more big marquee sponsorships such as this one.
Reagan, I'm sure it was a very old saying that you and Crystal had, stapled on paper or in your locker during the course of a basketball season about setting the tone or the pace of the game. Lisa Borders has definitely set the tone and pace for probably, anyone's thoughts or doubts about, this new president coming in. She puts her foot down in a pretty big way again, landing Verizon as the brand new marquee sponsor of the league again. 10 of the 12 teams will have their sponsor or will have Verizon across their jerseys along with their other their other marquee sponsors, a la Talking Stick Resort, Equitrust Insurance with LA and Phoenix, and of course whoever it may be for the Liberty coming up this season. 3 of the 4 teams left from the first season in '97. Rap, I'd probably ask again, though, but again, how much meaning or importance is it, though, again, that Lisa Borders, again, brings in a very big company like Verizon into the equation for the WNBA in their 20th season?
Just coming from a sports business major, the deal is pretty big, but it doesn't mean anything if Verizon doesn't help market the league. We can have all these sponsorships, but if they're not helping us, then it means nothing to us. It's a loss on our end. So we'll just have to see what Verizon does to help market us.
Crystal, obviously, Boost Mobile did their job for the first 2 to 3 years when they were, the marquee sponsor of everyone's jerseys. Again, folks, only 10 of the 12 teams will have the Verizon ad on their jerseys. I do know San Antonio will not have it because, of course, the Stars share the arena with the Spurs and the Rampage of the AHL, which is AT&T Center, so they wouldn't want to have a competing company in that arena. And there's also one more, but it eludes me right now. But again, as of right now, San Antonio and anonymous Team B is what I'll say for right now, because I'm looking at the list and it's going over my head right now about who else is not going to have Verizon on their jerseys. But again, Crystal, as much as it may be a good thing, as we said with me and Shorty about Lisa Borders coming in and bringing in this well-known wireless partner, but like Reagan said, though, obviously, it's not going to go or get the league very far if Verizon doesn't help out in some capacity. But I guess I'd still ask, though, about your overall take, though, about Lisa Borders bringing in Verizon into the equation for the season.
That just shows you that Lisa Border is doing her job. And I do agree with Reagan. I mean, unless they market the league, unless they have WNBA players or WNBA teams on any of their commercials or any of their ads or anything like that, I still think it's going to kind of be so-so. But I think, the fact that this is her first deal, her first major deal since she's been president, I think this proves that she's working despite what people probably think.
And to clean up on ILCMAC, thanks to Corey, who's playing the role of Sixth Man of the Year tonight, Connecticut Frontier Communications is their sponsor on their uni, so they also will not have the Verizon logo along with San Antonio, who of course has HEB, their local convenience store, on their jersey fronts as well. But again, Eric, so we've heard both sides of the coin here again. Positive again that Lisa Borders brings in, a marquee sponsor of a lot of other pro leagues and teams. But again, bringing them in for such a historic season. But again, there is that small anecdote, though, of probably the backside or the dark side of this, again, is if Verizon sponsors but doesn't really put a whole lot of effort into marketing the league, I guess. But I would ask, though, again, Eric, your overall thoughts, though, again, about Lisa Borders and her first real move made as league president, bringing Verizon Wireless into the equation for the 20th season.
It's huge. I mean, Verizon, a very big company, very well-known sponsorship. It's a definite upgrade from Boost Mobile. I just think it's kind of funny how, the Stars and the Sun are unable to participate in the sponsorship because, the Stars have their own sponsorship, and maybe Corey would want to tell us why the Sun cannot partake in it. I'm not exactly sure why. Somebody told me, but I forgot. And also, it has come to my attention that I referred to the Dallas Wings as the Tulsa Shock earlier in the program. I regret the error deeply. I apologize. It will happen many more times, but I'll take the fall for this one.
And real quick, Eric, I just want to ask, how many times has it happened in articles on Fast Break so far for you?
0. Well, I wrote an article recently about Diggins resigning, and I had to kind of catch myself a few times because that's easy because I can I proofread it and everything. But it was kind of difficult because in referring to her past achievements, I refer to them as the Shock, but for the future, it was the Wings. It was kind of messy, but hopefully I've gotten over that hump and I'll be able to do better next time. Yeah.
We'll hope and pray, but I'm sure you'll be able to get it done. But again, folks, big news again. Skylar Diggins re-signing with Dallas earlier in the week, along with Verizon Wireless as the new marquee sponsor of the WNBA. And Corey, by the way, Eric, in regards to you proofreading your mistakes, Eric proofreads his work unlike WNBA.com authors. Smiling face. So thanks to Corey, our Sixth Man of the Year, hopping in tonight, this evening. Shorty, as that press release said, though, again, obviously a lot going to be going on with Verizon. To stay with us real quick, again, they're doing a lot of promotion. Maybe we'll see more of those. You'll see that epic commercial again that we've seen a handful of times already. But also, Shorty, thinking about this, though, again, about Verizon sponsoring the top 20 moments in league history. You think about the 20-year anniversary of the league. There's been so much that's gone on in this league, of course, with all the dark side of all the negativity and doubt about the league surviving this long. But when you think, though, about some of the epic games, the performances that we've seen in the league, over the 20 years, I guess, Shorty, I'd probably ask for, if you can, putting you guys on the spot here, all of you, but start with Shorty. Top 5 moments from the WNBA, as long as you've been a fan or historically. What are they and why?
Oh, wow. Without taking too long, it's going to take me a bit to think about it. But quickly, I just want to say, ooh, that shade, Corey. Ooh. But anyway, off the top of my head right now, first thing is the shot from Teresa Weatherspoon, during the playoffs against the Comets. That shot she hit nearly from half court, win the game for the Liberty. I mean, that's one of the things that comes to my mind. I guess they will put together just like a quick complication of all the first four championships from the Houston Comets. So that'll definitely be one of the top 20 there. Um, I hate seeing this, but I feel like okay, that was the first two that I stated. Okay, number three, I hate seeing this repeatedly, but I think they're going to once again show the 2008 Western Conference semifinals or the Western Conference finals, I think, against the Sparks in the then Silver Stars when Sophia Young hit that shot, and oh my goodness, that was a heartbreaker. Um, yeah, it was very heartbreaker. It took a long while before Candace Parker even went back and rewatched that game. It was that tough for her to see. But also, I guess they're going to, have some Minnesota Lynx montages and championship moments on there in there. So that'll be four, and then the last one, the very last one. Hey, they might put Nikki Beasley's shot in there during the finals. Her shot. I forgot if it was against the Sting or the Liberty. I think it was the Liberty, but she hit that shot, her one and only three-pointer in the entire game for the Sparks to win that game. So those are just my top five moments for now.
Shorty, I was giving you the assist. I was whispering or mouthing New York to you about that, but we'll work on that next time. Rap, how about your all-time top five favorite moments across 20 years of WNBA hoops?
Kellen, I have one rule, and that rule is do not surprise me. I am not prepared for this question.
Oh, you can give us your ultimate moment then if that makes
give
it
it a
easier for
shot.
you. Go
Give
for
it a
it.
shot.
I mean, of course, it would be the shot like Shorty was talking about. Like that's my number one.
Yeah, okay, so we got 2 votes for that one. Crystal, to put you on the spot, how about you?
Um, you said it was five. You have to name five.
Mhm.
I don't know if I can give you five, but I could give you a few. So one, I'm gonna have to go with the shot again with Teaspoon. The look on Tina Thompson's face was just
Priceless.
disbelief. So I'm gonna have to go with that one. Um, I'm gonna have to go number two. Probably the Sparks championship run that they had. That might be number two. Three. Uh, I had it in my mind. Um, Man, I can't. Well, since I can't think, I'll just go with an alternative. Number three is when Chrissy Toliver got crossed up by Sydney Colson. That's probably one of my favorite moments. Um, number four. Number four. I mean, like Shorty said, they're going to show a montage of one of the greatest dynasties, one of the only dynasties, the Houston Comets. They're going to show a montage of that, and this is not really my great moment, but they're probably going to show Maya Moore's shot from last year where she won the game for them. I don't think that's one of my greatest moments, but I can see how they will find that as a greatest moment. But I don't know. I have more than just five. I mean, I can add Chrissy Tolliver's shot in there. I can add. I mean, there's just so much. I just can't think of five. This is a pretty hard question.
All right, so Eric, how about you? It's all up to you now.
See, I have to name five.
At least five, yes.
At least five because Reagan only named one, so I have to name like 9, right? Okay.
Whatever your heart's content to do.
Let's see here. Obviously, the shot from Teaspoon. That's got to be on there because why not? To piggyback off what Crystal said for the Houston Comets, yeah, that's a league-defining moment with the dynasty and everything. But I would get a little more specific. I would say when they dedicated that one championship to Kim Perrott after she passed away from cancer. That was really heart-wrenching, and there's not really much you can say about that without it. It's just such a dramatic moment and such a league-defining moment where all the players come together in support of one of their own, and it just really showed the camaraderie the league had with each other, even in such infancy days, Let's see. Yeah, Sophia Young Malcolm's shot against the Sparks. That's probably a big one. You know, I want to say Sylvia Fowles last season. Sylvia Fowles receiving Finals MVP when the Lynx won the championship, and here's why: because the Lynx were a team that previously had in their previous two championships had two previous Finals MVPs, right? So when they won their third championship, they had a third Finals MVP. That's as much of a dynasty as you can put together there because you have three championships and you have a different MVP for each championship. That just totally exemplifies greatness right there. So that would definitely be on my list. I don't know. I'm not really sure what else. You have to give me some time to think about this one too.
Tamika Catchings winning her first championship.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, what about Tamika Catchings? Like her whole career is a highlight, you know. Yeah, definitely her winning her first championship. That would be true. Um, we'll say Candace Parker winning her first championship, but that hasn't happened yet.
Dude.
I'm just saying. Uh, I don't know. Someone want to give me a hint here?
I think you're good.
No? Okay. I think that's a pretty good list. That's a pretty good
No,
list.
that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good list right there.
Not bad.
Why did I get muted?
Guys, when I think about, obviously, we've been through 19 and soon to be 20 seasons of the league going forward. If there's any top five, and I'm a little surprised. I shouldn't say surprised, but Lisa Leslie's dunk is also a pretty big highlight in my opinion. Trailblazing the way for then Candace Parker. Then of course now you got Brittany Griner who makes it a habit pretty much almost every time now. But that was a pretty big stepping stone for the league as well. Was someone that could actually do what the guys do. And as much as we are, WNBA fans and the players, get criticized and thrown on the bus for not doing that, that was the really big first pinnacle moment, perhaps for an individual player going forward. All the dynasties across the league, from Houston to Los Angeles, Detroit, Phoenix for a bit, and then Minnesota 2011, 13, and 15. That's also something to see. And I would even agree with everyone about the shot by Teaspoon in that game against Houston. Nikki Teasley being the buzzer in Los Angeles to win the back-to-back titles there for LA in 01 and 2002 when they beat the Liberty. And I think recently it'd probably be, maybe when Brittany Griner dunked as well, perhaps as another stepping stone. But I think those guys, even the first game is probably a big highlight as well for how far this sport and league has come over 20 seasons as well. Was hey, we got a league and we have the first ever game held in Los Angeles, and a pretty good crowd at the Forum shows up, and for the first few years those games were packed to the rafters of many NBA arenas up until we know what happens after. But again, folks, Verizon Wireless, new marquee partner, but also they will have plenty of highlights from the 20 seasons of the WNBA for the upcoming season. And again, 10 of the 12 teams will have Verizon ads on their uniforms for the season, except Connecticut and San Antonio. Again, Connecticut sponsored by Frontier Communications, and San Antonio playing at the AT&T Center would not be having the ad of a rival company on their uniform top, so they will have HEB back again as a presenting sponsor for the season this year. Real quick before we get out of here for the night, Shorty, I checked the tournament challenge group again, folks. Log on to WNBA365.wix.com/WNBA365 to get in on all the perks of our upcoming tourney challenge. Shorty, 15 people are playing for the prizes, including us 5, plus 10 of the loyal fans of the network. So obviously, hey, for this being year 2 that we're doing this, along with all the incentives included, I'm pretty impressed. Shorty, how about you?
I am very impressed as well, and I think one of the things to it is that you did throw an incentive in there. What real WNBA fan wouldn't want 2 free tickets to a WNBA game? So that in itself definitely have them involved within this bracket group. But I think it's going to be great. It's going to be fun. Of course, a lot of trash talking between everyone here in the network, but just everyone else participating, I think it's great.
On the sidebar, it's the 4 people to the left of me talking trash. I'm just minding my own business and waiting to, get this thing underway. But again, Reagan, when I saw the group a couple days ago, there was like maybe 5 people. I think it was just us 5 in there, maybe 6. But to see it grow to 15 people now is like, obviously the incentive may have helped, I think. But but like Shorty said though, Reagan, who doesn't love free stuff though?
Yeah, who doesn't? I mean, wait, can we win this prize? I don't think I
Yes,
ever asked.
Yeah.
anyone in the group is eligible to win.
Oh, cool beans, cool beans. Okay, I'll be
Yeah,
winning.
well, we're not disqualified. Everyone is fair game. Crystal, what do you think, though, about seeing the group rise from what it was to now again? About 15 people so far are playing for the free prizes.
I think it's cool. I mean, that means people. I think more so they're doing it because you put a free prize in there. But I think it's cool that people are actually playing with us and that they're being more social with us, so we can do things like this.
And Eric, and that was what we didn't have last year. Was we didn't have a whole lot of engagement with our group last season. I think it was maybe 4 or 5 people at tops. But now that, and obviously, yes, the rebrand has helped a lot, definitely, in getting the word out there, plus the site. But but now that we've got this many people in, plus we've had more and more people view us, like Corey's been helping out, clean up some of your mistakes, my mistakes this evening with forgetting things tonight. But obviously, Eric, hey, it's good to see that the group has grown. But what do you think, though, about this going forward for even next year for the next edition of the Tourney Challenge?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I think the free prizes have really helped out a lot. I mean, who wouldn't want a Crystal Thomas trading card? Like, that's just great stuff right there.
So obviously, I think that it all has helped out. But again, folks, to find out more and to get in again, time is ticking away for you to join our tournament challenge group. So again, folks, log on to the site WNBA365.wix.com/WNBA365, and you can find all the details about joining the group and the prizes at stake. And again, folks, the grand prize winner, whoever it is, whether it's me, Shorty, Reagan, Crystal, Eric, or anyone else that does win, again, you get 2 tickets to an upcoming WNBA regular season game. And the bottom 4, 2, 3, 4, and 5, the other top finishers will receive a pack of network trading cards, including a couple of cards from my own personal collection from the 2008 season, maybe even some current ones from now. Well, again, we'll get those to you folks sometime during the season. I promise you, we will get those to you during the course of our season. But with that, though, guys, we'll quit while we're ahead. Up until next Monday, folks, enjoy your upcoming weekend of basketball across both platforms. And again, get in on the Tourney Challenge and play for the tickets and trading cards. Again, WNBA365.wix, WIX.com/WNBA365, and join the Tourney Challenge group and help that number grow and play for some pretty nice prizes, again, including 2 tickets to an upcoming WNBA regular season game of your choice if you win the top prize. For Eric Nemchok in Elmhurst, Illinois, Reagan Patrick in Chicago, Illinois this evening, and the SoCal crew of Crystal Thomas, Nisha Stewart, and Callan McClurg in San Diego, we'll sign off and see looks back here on Monday night at 9 o'clock PDT, midnight EDT, coming back here on the WNBA 365 Network with more free agency and also more March Madness discussion, and maybe we'll have a few upsets already to bring you folks next Monday. Till then, folks, have a great weekend. See you back here on Monday. Good night. Bye-bye.